Welcome everyone to another episode of your favorite Iowa State Cyclones. Remember, this is Cesar Shark and 20 online, and this is Draft Day Sports College Football 2023. This program is based in the SNCFL, and you can see our Slack channel, which I'm gonna show you in a minute. And you can find us in there. Where we are, here we are. Okay, this is a college league. It's a lot of managers, very competitive, and I'm pretty sure that you will enjoy. Okay, so without more delay, we are gonna find out the training camp report of our Cyclones, and after a nice discussion between some of the GMs in the league that were thinking that actually marking 4 in training schedules for some of the training areas will cause some drops. Okay, as you can see, for example, quarterbacks in my training schedules, they are working 7 on drills and 7 on game tape, with athletic training and physical training just at 4. So some of them were saying that they actually will cause some regression in those attributes, but as we can see here, none of them had that problem. That was shown, across every single player in the league, or not in the league, in my program. So if we go to another one with that kind of distribution, so for example, fullbacks and tight end, they only have 4 in intelligence, and as you can see, there is no dropouts in intelligence in any of them, no dropouts whatsoever, I must add. So I did have a quick look before, and none of the players had any kind of dropouts, just a wide receiver. But it was actually in the hands attribute, which they should be training at 7. Who are you? It's this gentleman. He had a drop in hands from 71 to 68, but none of our fault, because we did set up actually the drills at 7. So it might be because of his work ethic is just 33. So that might be the reason why. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we are gonna come to roster, and then I'm gonna give you a couple of tips a little bit later on after going through this, because this seemed that had happened with my Iowa State players. None of them had a single drop during this training camp with the schedules that I did run, and we had quite a lot of games, so you can see Huntington, Endurance 65 to 68 as one of them, and you can see this, repeated pretty much across the whole team. There are a few additions in attributes in different areas. So for example, Garcia, he went from agility, endurance, from endurance 79 to endurance 81. Padilla, he went from pass blocking at 50 to pass blocking 53. That's another progress. And you can see pretty much this slight progress in different areas for plenty players in the roster. Montemul, endurance 67 to endurance 70. This will allow him to be a little bit longer on the field without having to be substitute. And we have a very nice jump in pass blocking here from 88 to 90 for Ralph Sink. And as we go through our roster, you can see that none of them had the dreaded drop on the schedules that they were set at 4. So for example, I know for a fact that my O-linemen, their athletic training is set at 4, with strength and drills at 7, and intelligence at 4 as well. So as you can see, no drops in here either. And again, this happens with players that are not elite, so just Normal players, 3 stars, they are in my Iowa State safe. This is my first season in playing with this team in the SNCFL. And as you can see, we continue having no drops, just Mr. DuPont that we spoke before. Hoover, no drops. Hudson, no drops. LaRoche, no drops. Yeah, so I'm quite happy and confident in saying the players that have 3 stars or less, they won't have any drops with this kind of grilling schedule of 7 and 4s. So you can feel free to use 22 points in your training schedules, and we are going, well, you can see Schwartz, his intelligence improved from 55 to 58, which is a significant increase of 3 points. And you can see that some of the players, they haven't progressed, okay, like Mr. Fleming. And a little bit later, when I do my recruiting video, I will show you who are the players that will progress further and who are the players that will progress very slowly or won't progress at all. Okay, the key is to interview the players and to do a whole scouting in them, and then you will have an email. But we will go a little bit more deeper into it. Okay, so I'm quite happy that we didn't have any drops in players set at 4 in the schedule, but again this is for 3 2-star players, because my other team in this league is the Georgia Bulldogs, and in here we were very unfortunate to see that we did have significant drops with this schedule, especially in our best players. So John Mayer was okay, Thorne was okay. Henry Alves, as you can see here, he did have a drop last year, not this year. I want to find the ones that actually had the drop this year. Okay, so I must say that I did change the schedule of some of them, and it seems that, yeah, that the drop happened after training camp last year, but they haven't had any drops this year, so yeah, it might be. Alright, so let's go try to find it somewhere else. If you come, I think it's in Almanac, where you can see the progress by teams. Training camps now, then it will be in League Media. If you come here, you can see the progress that they had during training camp, the most gainers and the most losers. So you can just go, but this tells you the total number of gains. It doesn't tell you in what areas, okay? So if we go to Daniel Palumbo, Palumbo had a drop in tackling, and he did have a drop in intelligence as well. I know by fact that my linebackers are training those attributes above 4. So you can see that the work ethic of Mr. Palumbo is just 37. So that might be the reason why. And then Danilo Pearson, yeah, his work ethic is just 34. So that might be the reason why they are having the drops actually, because we cannot see any significant drops this year. In fact, we did see a lot of gains in the team. So yeah, I will keep informing as I find more things. My training for the Georgia Bulldogs for the elite players, still the schedules are pretty much the same. So you can see that the quarterbacks, well, quarterbacks they actually have 5 training, elusive. So for the running backs, their intelligence is at 4. So we can have a look in here to the intelligent bar. Yeah, I mean, it remains the same. Work ethic is good, so I don't understand this massive drop in hands from Magustin, where he's training 5. El Cuevas. Okay. So we come to different schedules, like the offensive lineman as well. Intelligence only at 4. His intelligence bar is being at 60, so not really any drop in there. 47 for Christopher Donald throughout. Ricky Rapp, 66. Started and 65, just a tiny drop at the end of it. Isaiah Robinson, 52 at the beginning, 52 at the end. So that's gonna be the same. What I'm thinking is these massive drops, from training camp to the following season. I'm thinking that they might be because of my staff not being good and attention to detail, and that might be important. As you can see, my head coach attention to detail is just 1.5 stars. Herbert Harris just 2 stars. And Johnny Reynolds, the defensive coordinator, just 1 star. So that's why we might be seeing those drops in high recruited players of 4-5 stars. So make sure, and that's my tip for today, make sure that your staff has actually good attention to detail. We don't have that problem with Iowa State because they are very bad at the moment, but as you can see, head coach is just 1 in development, half a star in detail. Our offensive coordinator, half a star in development and 1 star in detail. So as we get better with this program, we have to make sure that we change the coaches and we start looking for high development, high attention to detail coaches to give our primary recruits, our 4-5 star recruits, the best chance, to succeed. So this is it for this video, just a quick one to give you an update about what were the best gainers in the team and what to expect. Let's go again, let's see if we have, just right before finishing. I'm not gonna extend any longer. Yeah, just Terry Dupont was the one that gained. The rest of that lost. The rest of the team pretty much had gains. And this was the best one. So Cedric Huntington, he went from 40 intelligence to 43 intelligence and from 65 endurance to 68 endurance for a total of 6 points of gain, which is very good. Work ethic of 70, and he is a film geek, so he really likes to study, and his intelligence, will be benefited for it. Okay, thank you for following this video. The next one is gonna be about recruiting. I will focus the whole video about recruiting, and we will set up the recruiting for the Iowa State Cyclones together. Okay, so if you have any questions as well, just find me in the Slack channel or feel free to ask here below in the comments. Thank you for your time, guys.